Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda the Wind Waker. I'm your host, Sega Girl Envy, and in the last episode, we finished everything up that we needed to do here on Windfall Island in terms of side quests. So now that we're currently done here for the time being, again, we're going to be back here like multiple times throughout the game, so don't worry about it for now. But we're going to head off to our first major island, so I'm hopping on in over to the King of Red Lions here. Let's go ahead and equip the sail over to the Z button. Go ahead and hit that, and then we'll bring up the sail and start sailing. You guys are not going to believe this, so straight up, I was recording my audio for like 15 minutes before I realized that I didn't hit record on the application that I used to record the game. So thank God I didn't save, otherwise you guys would have missed out on 15 minutes worth of progress. So, oh my God, I'm so thankful for that. Anyways, I want to apologize first and foremost for the last few videos. I know that things are not looking really exciting or anything like that right now, and especially because my commentary during the whole Salvatore sinking ships with the squid minigame wasn't really all that exciting or anything like that, but it's like, when I'm trying to like concentrate, I just completely like zone out and I can't think of things to say, and that's really, really bad form when it comes to Let's Playing. But anyways, we're here on an island called Paw Print Isle, and the reason as to why it's called that is because if we zoom out, you're going to notice the shape of the islands and the tiny little islands off in the distance kind of make the form of a paw print. So anyways, we're going to put our sword away, crawl on under here, and then head on into this tiny little hole. Now, deep within this cavern is actually a piece of heart, and considering that we're one away from completing a heart container, then there's a very good reason as to why we want to start collecting these things. Anyways, we're gonna come across a new enemy known as Choo-Choos. Yes, you heard that right, Choo-Choos. And if you collect the enemy drops, you'll get some red chew jelly. You'll put this in your spoils bag. So remember, the spoils bag was that thing that Nico gave to us when we were on Tetra's ship. That's basically what you're going to carry, like special items that are dropped by enemies. And obviously, if you guys remember, actually, let me go ahead and look. We have 2 joy pendants. Well, in order to complete one of the side quests, at least actually like 2 side quests with Miss Joy, back on Windfall Island, we need to get at least 40 of those joy pendants. But no worries though. They're like one of the most commonly dropped items, I think, in like all of the dungeons and in the game. So you're gonna have a ton of them by the time that, you know, we actually need it. So anyways, follow the corridors on up past the giant boulders, and then we'll come across this spiky looking treasure chest, which means it's gotta have something important in it. And what do you know? There's a piece of heart. That's the 4th piece, completing another heart container. So now we have 4 hearts instead of 3. That's what the pieces of heart are actually going to be doing for us. It's going to be very, very helpful. So now we just have to find our way out of here. We're actually done here for now. We don't really need anything else in here. The piece of heart was just really all we needed. So you'll know you're going the right way when you find this little ray of light that will physically beam Link up like he's getting abducted by a bunch of aliens. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm so sorry about the commentary on like the first few parts of this, because I knew that heart piece and those treasure charts in particular were going to be really, really difficult. So let me actually head on over this way really quick. We want to stop and actually talk to this guy over here. Mighty fine boat you got there, bub. You must be searching for treasure on the seafloor too, aren't you? Ha ha ha, you won't get any from us, bub, not likely. Let me ask you something real quick. Who wanders around on a fishless sea? I'll tell you who, bub. Only pirates, monsters, and treasure hunters like ourselves. And maybe some other things like that I've never heard of. So yeah, he's basically talking to you about, he's gonna give you an introduction basically to, if you talk to him, he'll give you a treasure chart for free. So that'll make it our 3rd. When you open this chart, a place where treasures lie will be lit up. Sail to that area, then use the chart to find the treasure. I, man, I have no idea what the heck my voice was doing there for a second. But anyways, he's telling you basically the distinction between specific island charts and treasure charts. After all you need to do to use the same thing that we use to haul up treasure. One of those grappling hooks that the Rito tribesfolk of Dragon Roost Island use. Yeah, those grappling hooks. Huh. Grappling hook. Alright, little treasure buddy, best of luck to all of us. Wow, their voices are so high-pitched and squeaky. Anyways, if you press up on the D-pad, this is basically our sea chart. We're going to be filling in every single one of these squares to make a complete map of the Great Sea. But currently, at the moment, we don't really have the means to do so. Not until the game kind of railroads us to be able to do that. But if you're going to notice, we have 3 treasure charts now. Treasure chart number 7, 23, and 34. If you press the A button, you can open it up, and it'll show you an island where the treasure is actually located. So you remember back a few episodes ago where I was like, oh yeah, this is the greatest pirate game ever made. Well, this is actually pretty close to being a pirate as far as I know. X literally marks the spot on a treasure chart that leads to an island out on a sea chart that you are navigating with. And this is basically going to be the land of Hyrule, essentially, for like the next few parts of this game. But we don't have any more business with those guys, and we don't have any more business on that island, so to speak. So we can go ahead and sail on over to where the story is taking us. And that's the other thing too, is that Wind Waker is very story heavy in terms of progression in the beginning. But there's going to be elements and bits and pieces here and there that are actually going to, we'll get to basically kind of go against what the story is telling us, so that way we can explore and kind of power link up. And that's one of the things about this game that I really like, is that we're going to be finding all sorts of different things on all of these different islands, kind of like we did with the island that we were just exploring right now. We went inside a cave, we found, some treasure, and, it's that feeling of discovery and that feeling of just exploring a vast ocean like a pirate, just without any of the controversial stuff that a pirate does. Basically, a kiddie pirate, so to speak. That is our destination, Corin. Dragon Roost Island. Home to one of the best tracks on the soundtrack, in my personal opinion. Oh my god, this place is awesome. It's a really neat looking island, but also, high atop this island's peak lives the Spirit of the Skies, a great dragon by the name of Valoo, not to be confused with Baloo from the Jungle Book. You must go see this dragon and request from him a jewel called Din's Pearl. And if anybody's familiar with Ocarina of Time, you'll know the name Din, as it's one of the names of the 3 goddesses of Hyrule, Din, Nehru, and Faeror. Faeror being my personal favorite of the 3. Ask the people of the Rito tribe who inhabit this island about how to see the dragon. And yeah, that's the other thing about this too, is that anybody who's familiar with Breath of the Wild, this was the game that introduced the Rito. I almost forgot, just wait a moment. This is the Wind Waker. It is a baton of sorts that was used long ago when the people played music in prayer to the gods. In those days, simply using it allowed one to borrow the power of the gods, but I do not know if it still works. Even so, I thought it might be of some use to you. Perhaps you should try using it. Man, and frickin' I had this whole joke and everything like that with the King of Red Lions, where it almost looked like he had a really fabulous stash and he should sound like frickin' Sean Connery, like when I was recording the commentary for this originally, but whatever. Alright, first we're going to conduct in 3/4 time, or 3/4 time. I'm pretty sure it's 3/4 time for any of my musician friends out there who particularly study music theory. So in order to play this, to play these particular notes, don't touch the joystick. You're just going to use the C6. So up, down, and then right on the C stick. Very nice. Ooh, very nice. But frankly, I prefer... Anyway, that was splendid. Next is 4/4 time. Now you're going to hold left on the joystick, change the rhythm, and then we're going to tilt the C stick as follows. So we're going to go up, right, left, and down. So I'm holding on the left stick right now. So up, right, left, down. Alright, and that's all there is to it. That was not bad for your first time using the Wind Waker. Not bad at all. You can also conduct with it in 6/4 time by tilting it to the right. You would do well to remember that. Unfortunately, there's only like 2 songs in the entire game that's actually going to use 6/4 time, and they're not going to be until like way later in the game, so completely disregard what he's saying. We'll get there when we get there. But just in case you need to remember, don't tilt for 3/4, tilt to the left for 4/4, tilt to the right for 6/4. Alright, I'm going to disregard plot for a brief second because we actually want to come over here and we're going to find something very important for us to learn if we actually head on over to this little island right over here. I keep calling them islands, but they're not really islands. They're just like little patches of land. So anyways, you're going to notice this broken tablet over here right next to this other tablet that has some arrows next to it. Well, let's go ahead and equip the Wind Waker. I'll set it to my X button. And then you'll hear this little chime basically telling you you're going to learn something new. So now, don't tilt the left stick. We're going to go up, left, right. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have learned the Wind's Requiem. I was almost going to say the Rin's Requiem. Again, me just mixing up the first 2 letters of both words. And with that, we can actually have the power to change the wind. Yep, that's a mighty nice breathe. Yeah, I'm still gonna make this guy sound like King Candy. The name's Cephalf. I'm the god of winds. So you're the new Wind Waker, are you? Even he's got like a mustache kind of pattern on him. What is up with like all the main characters having like mustache patterns? Great, great. For a beginner, you've got a nice wind sense about you. I like you, kid. That tune you just picked up, well, it gives you control over the direction the wind blows. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. Depending on how it's used, wind can be a good thing or a very bad thing. You want an example of it being a bad thing, then you should see my brother. Whew, boy. It saddens me to say that my brother Cycloth is miffed about his monument here being broken, and now he spends his time creating cyclones to torment people with. Is he really that much of an egotist that he would start harassing people over his little monument being broken? I find that really hard to believe. Well, anyways, then again, gods are very dramatic. So if you encounter any cyclone to sea, chastise my brother for me, will you? And that is my request for you. Okay, goodbye. See you again, never. I'm just gonna go on with my life. Now that I have this really dope-ass song that I learned with my Wind Waker. Anyways, now that we've actually... This was around the point when I realized, oh my god, I'm not actually recording or anything like that when it comes to the gameplay. So, we have some bomb flowers over here. We want to go ahead and just drop this one right next to this boulder right here. Blow it up. We can also get some rupees. There's actually a little place over here that I want to go to first. If we actually drop this right over here. Boom. There we go. Now, one thing you can actually do is you can actually take control of a... I'll actually show it to you right now. We're going to go into our spoils bag. And I'll go ahead and equip a Hoi pair. Link is going to place it over his head, and then, huzzah! We can actually control the seagull. So this is what I meant, and one of the biggest reasons why we bought this thing to begin with. You're actually going to want to go over to where these bombs are. Going to want to fly into one of them. Hit the R button to return. And then this treasure chest will drop. And with that, we get 200 whopping rupees. Time to jump for joy. But the unfortunate thing is that we were already going to be up to 200 anyway. So it was kind of a waste for us doing that. But at the same time, if you're playing the Wii U version, definitely would have been worth it. Because you would have gotten up to 500 like very, very quickly. So anyways... another thing I wanted to make mention of as well, I'm just gonna throw... Okay, well, the bomb didn't actually explode in the place where I wanted it to. The other thing I wanted to make mention of as well is, I was trying to experiment a little bit with, the first few episodes of this, Let's Play, where I thought maybe I could try and do a thing, because depending on the side quests that we're doing in general, those could take up, like, an episode or so, depending on how long that they are. But, I just don't like having to stop and go every single time that I'm doing a recording session. So I'm just doing them all in, like, one take. and then just kind of splitting them up appropriately. That's how I like it, and that's personally how I'm going to be doing this Let's Play. So, even though we kind of experimented with the first few parts in terms of doing that format, just because we had to do that stupid minigame on Windfall Island, I'm probably not going to be doing that for the rest of the Let's Play. But anyways, Corn, is that you? It is! I'm pleased to see you're okay. I must say, you've traveled far for one with no wings. And your sister, is she... I love that look on his face. Is that so? Well, don't worry too much. I'm sure she'll hang in there. I have an idea, Corrin. Would you like to meet our chieftain? I've told my people here about you, and all of us Rito are very concerned. I'm certain the chieftain will befriend you and lend you the aid of our Aerie. It's settled then. I'll fly on ahead and let everyone know you're coming. Come inside, Corrin. I'll be waiting. And then, of course, he just, like, starts flapping his wings and runs on off. It's like, hey, guys, the savior is here. So, yeah, anybody who's familiar with, Breath of the Wild, this was the game that also introduced the Rito. And I find it really surprising because the Rito got, like, a major redesign for Breath of the Wild in comparison to the way that they look in this game. I mean, it's still the same concept, though. They're bird people who evolved from the Zoras. Well, have you discovered the cause of the Great Blue's anger? They have really giant beak noses, I've noticed. Ah, so you were Corrin, are you? Quill, his name is Quill, has told me all about you. A troubling tale indeed. I insist that you let us know if there is anything we can do to help you. We shall do everything in our power to assist you. However, in the meantime, we have a problem of our own to deal with. Yeah, of course, you guys all have your own problems. When you arrived on the island, did you notice the raging dragon perched atop the mountain? As you can see, we of the Rito tribe are profoundly connected to the sky. We make our livings on the airways. We do so by the graces of the sky spirit Valu. When a Rito reaches adulthood, he or she journeys to the top of Dragon Roost to receive a scale from the great dragon. It is this scale that enables the Rito to grow his or her wings. Recently, however, the once gentle Valu has grown violent and unpredictable. Sadly, we can no longer approach him. If this continues, the fledglings who are of age will never be able to receive scales from Valu on Dragon Roost. They will remain wingless, and in time, our very way of life will be threatened. As chieftain of the Rito, my first responsibility is to solve this problem. My apologies, but I must ask you to wait for our assistance until this is done. Will you do so? Nah, dude, let me help. Chieftain, what do you think of consulting Corrin with regards to your son, Prince Kamali? As you can see, Corrin is a gallant young lad. I feel certain that Prince Kamali would open his heart to him and speak freely of his fears and worries. You're expecting too much out of a kid like me. Well, anyways, let me be direct. My son Kamali is of the age to earn his wings, yet he is weak in some ways, and in light of the current situation, he may just give up on ever getting them. What say you? Will you share some of your courage with my son? Will you meet with my son? Sure. I like making new friends. We shall do our best to solve our problem as quickly as possible so that we may better help you with yours. So it's kind of like you scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of deal. I have something I wish for you to give my son. A young girl named Medley is holding it for me. Would you find her and take it? I am counting on you. Very well. Meanwhile, everybody's going to go off and do their own thing. Here, Corrin, take this with you. Who knows? It might come in handy. Oh, and with that, we get the delivery bag. A finely crafted bag like this are used by the Rito Postman everywhere. With so many pockets, it can hold many items selected on the items screen. Blah, blah, blah. You know the deal by this point. You should find Medley in one of the upper rooms. Leave the Great Flute to us. In the meanwhile, do your best to aid Prince Kamali. So I am going to do that, but there's also another minigame that we can actually play that's actually a lot more fun than the stupid... than Salvatore's. I'm sorry, I know that I keep bringing it up, but I was actually mentioning this to my manager at work, to my friend Jeremy, because, you know, we talk with each other and we play basically, like, the same games, pretty much, but I was telling him that I was recording for the, for that particular heart piece and, the treasure charts and everything like that, and just how terribly that it was going, and, you know, so, so of course the conversation just came up. But anyways, Before we go ahead and meet up with Medley, Medley is the one in this room over here. We're actually going to want to talk to this guy over at the mail counter. So if we talk to him... Well now, I've not seen your young face before. Nope, don't believe so. Hmm? You wouldn't be here in response to our posting for some part-time help, would you? Yeah, sure. Ooh, excellent, that's good. But first, to see if I can use you or not, I need to give you a little test. Just a small one. Match the seal on the envelope with the same icon on the shelf, and throw the letter onto that shelf. Real easy. Simple. Use the blah blah to select a shelf and press A to throw a letter. Is that clear? Alrighty, so it's basically just a matching game. We have to get... They want to do at least 10 letters, but in reality, you want to get at least like over 25. So let's go ahead and give it our best shot. So we want to go to this jar one, then go up this way, down this way. You're going to be hearing a lot of clacking from my controller. Boom. Oh. Yeah, they always switch it up on me, like, so... Every now and again... Ah, damn it. Every now and again, you'll get one where it's, like, the same symbol, like, more than once. Whoops. Sorry. And the recording curse is coming back to haunt me. I at least got 21, so, I mean, that's actually not bad at all. 21 laters. Great, good, terrific. You pass. Okay, you get 1 rupee for every 2 letters, so that comes to a grand total of 10 rupees. Well, unfortunately, we don't really have anything... We don't really have anything in terms of, we can't really keep the rupees, so to speak, but if you're trying to earn any rupees or anything like that, this might actually be a good way to grind up for him. Alright, so this time he wants us to sort 20 or more letters, so we'll get a lot more money if we actually manage to do this correctly. Oh, 24! Wow. 24 letters! Splendid! Super! So then you would get, for every 1 rupee, you would get 24 rupees for that. The higher your salary will become, the better that you do. That's economics.